Hello and welcome back to what could be the final episode of the Star Wars Millennium Falcon mega build. I'm at step 1301-ish because I've left myself. I think I'm actually on this step because I'm looking at it. It's complicated and I don't think I've done it. Let's immediately jump in. First bit down. There we go. That's already a rolling start, isn't it? Didn't I sort all this out into an order last time? Clearly, whatever order I put it in was useless and has dissipated. Where are you? Here we are. I've had a crazy hectic weekend of recording. I'm not even done. Basically, all last week I was looking at my schedule for recordings. I was like, it seems I've done a lot of bad planning, and like next week, the week this is coming out, this week, now that this is out, I was like, I've got no videos in the bag. I lie. I had one video in the bag, one episode of the Minish Cap, and I was like, how have I set this up? Normally, I do it in such a fashion that come the weekend, I have to record like 2, maybe 3 videos for the week, and I'll often do more to sort of get ahead of it. But then this weekend, I guess I was lazy in weekends past, or I couldn't be arsed or something, and it was just like, I'm gonna have to record 5 videos today. But I was smart, so I recorded 3 yesterday instead on a Friday after work, after I'd been in the rain all day. So look out for them tired ass videos. I actually did a really dumb move as well. I recorded one I didn't even need for the week. There we are. So the good news on the graphics card front, regular people will know that I recently upgraded to a 2080 Titan graphics card, which then broke. So they sent me a new one, which currently works. The only thing is, I feel like in my head, when I had the old one, it did also work for like, I don't know, a few days, and then it just went to shit. So I'm wondering if that will happen this time. I have got the headache of having to send the other one back. And if I don't do that within a set time limit, I think they'll charge me again. But I'm not having that. That won't happen. I feel like I won't let that happen. So currently I've got a working graphics card, which is nice. I don't have what I would call 100% faith in it yet, but I'm getting there. Right, so it looks like this, and then I have to turn it like that, then put this bit right. Okay, so actually this bit was supposed to already be on in secret. Now I think I've made it. I can't describe to you how complicated this thing is. Most of the bits that went on here were like corner pieces. So like they had a bit like that and then a bit like that on them. And they all wrapped around in a style reminiscent of an Escher painting. If you're not familiar with that artist, he's the one that has like impossible stairs, that sort of thing. You'd know it immediately if you saw it. Just Google it. Get some culture in you. And then this bit goes in there to complete the thing. There we are. Good. Right. Getting on well. We're already on step 1303. That's massively exciting. So what have I been up to since the last video? I can tell you, I saw a film last night. It was The Nutcracker and the Four Realms, or rather, it was The Nutcracker and 1 and a bit realms. Really, calling it the Four Realms was a bit like, yeah, it almost felt watching it like they were thinking, okay, this is going to be a big new epic 5-part film series. This is going to be good, and then suddenly, like midway through, like, yeah, we're just going to have you make 1 film. Like, we've already called it the Four Realms. we introduce a lot of characters immediately who then lose all relevance to the plot and are never seen again. Here are the 4 monarchs. You'll get to know 2 of them. The other 2 can be irrelevant. It's a very odd film. I expected a lot more of the Nutcracker song. You know, that one song, I don't know what it's called. It might be called the Nutcracker. But I don't know. It was quite good. I like the pageantry of it. The costumes, the design. The fact that it wasn't a fucking miserable film like a lot of these films tend to end up being. It's a kids' film, so we can't have too much action. So what we're going to do is we're going to replace that with misery. We're going to kill the parents, then we're going to kill the friend. We're going to give him a pet. That's going to die. None of that. It's good that the very moment I started recording this video, the construction site that exists outside that window decided, you know what? Let's not take Saturday off. Let's get to work. Let's get the drills going. Let's get the heavy machinery. And let's make something of it. Let's get this job done. My last sticker is about to go on. No, my second to last sticker is about to go on. Once I build this complicated assembly. Right, what is this? Who is Gamora? Is this it? No. It's like a corner piece, but smaller, more aerodynamic. Is it over here? No. Okay, that's good. I started playing Factorio, a game that every now and again, like, it pops up and I read a story about it. I'm like, that seems like the sort of game that if I started it, it would be like a bit like Civ to me, where I'm not a hardcore player. What I do is very simple, but I'll do it a lot. It seems like the sort of game that I might like play it once in a blue moon, but play it for 18 hours straight. And then I brought it and I proved my hypothesis correct in that I currently have no urge to play it, but every now and again I feel like the planets will align. It'll be like, right, go play Factorio. If you're not familiar, as a game, it's hard to describe. It's a little bit like the later stages of Minecraft, without the adventure and without the real threat. It's top down, 2D. It's mostly about making factories, production lines, and other such nonsense. And it's very addictive. You're kind of your own worst enemy in it. For example, you're like I had this production line where it was bringing coal from down here, water from over here. That makes a steam engine and some electric, and then also there was coal coming up here to combine with like the iron resource here, smelt that into iron bars, shoots over here to where the copper production exists, and that's making like complicated circuitry. And then suddenly, like I'd think I need a bit more iron, so I'd go back to my iron foundries and like, let's dump in some more mining robots and some more smelters, and I'd get the balance wrong, and suddenly like iron ore was just being shifted into all the wrong places. And I'm too lazy to do all the tutorials, so I just kind of assume I know how to do things when really I don't. I haven't finished making this. Wait, have I? Oh no, it is telling me to put the stickers on now. And I have to put them on in a very particular fashion. I don't know what that fashion is. I shouldn't have peeled it off before finding out the fashion. I'll be fine. I've dropped it. Okay, so corner to there. So I'm playing Factorio a bit. Don't expect any videos in it, because it's the sort of thing where I can see it as very popular online communities, and videos in it should be twofold. One, they should either be, here's how to do this really efficient little setup I thought of. 4-minute guide video. That's one. The second would be if you, I don't know, multiplayer maybe, but other than that, it's like on your own. It's like I want to make a production line for springs, let's say, and then 4 hours later, it's like you lay your first tile of that spring production line. So I've got to get all my eggs in order first. So it's a game that takes a long time for anything to happen, and then you can have like a slight setback. It's fun though. It eats up the hours. So I got that going on. Still playing Diablo on Switch. That's my on-the-go game, and it's fantastic for it. Decided I'm gonna go complete a campaign as a necromancer, and then go on to try different classes from there. I briefly dabbled with like sort of starting off with all of them, but I was like, you know what, let's finish one and then move forward. Okay, now combine the two. Combine the two here, in fact. I thought it was going to go like that. Actually goes like this. It's like a over the shoulder sort of jacket, like a Mafia Don would wear. So, okay. Right. I forgot to put some bits on. I think they just got on here though, so it's all fine. Everything is fine. It's fine. A couple more bits here. So I've got Diablo 3 going on. I've got an ongoing affair with Shadow of War where I refunded it. That was the last of it. And then I was expecting it to take much longer to get this graphics card. And honestly, I was expecting to get another one and it wasn't going to work. That was just where I was at. So I've made these two. Now I set those aside and ignore them and make something fresh. But then I got this graphics card and it works. And I was like, I shouldn't immediately jump in and buy the game again. I will download the demo. And then there was this deal on for the game, which was cheaper than the first time I bought it and refunded it, I paid like, let's say £17. And then suddenly it was on sale on some key reseller site for £16. I was like, okay, so I'd be saving money. And on top of that, whatever. I'd just be saving money. There's nothing more than that. But then I was like, I need to make sure the game works first because I can't face this heartache again. And I feel like, refunding a game once is fine, but then buying that game again and then refunding it again after another 2 hours, suddenly it's like, are you buying the game and playing it in 2 hour increments and sending it back? It's like renting it from Blockbuster, but scamming somehow. So I thought, I know what I'll do. I'll download the demo because there's a demo, which I thought, if that doesn't run, the game won't run. So I downloaded that. And annoyingly, it was like that demo was going to take about 4 hours to download. And then the sale was ending in 6 hours. So I was like, well, that only gives me a 2 hour window in which to play it. And I was like, and those 2 hours are from like midnight to 2 a.m. And I had work the next day and I was out that night. So I was like, that's just not practical. So I thought, I'll leave it. I'll find out if it works and I can buy it in future. The fact that it's been on sale once means like that's now the new sale price. It can potentially go lower, but it should be easy to get that price again at least. The next day comes around. It's on sale on another key reselling site for an even slightly cheaper price again. And I'm like, who is doing this to me? What is this Warner Brothers master plan? Yeah, so it came on sale for a cheaper price, and then suddenly I actually had time to play the demo. I was like, well, something is telling me to do this. So I played the demo again. So far, no crashes yet, but I got like an hour in before I had my first crash last time, but I think it's all fine. I think having a new graphics card has sorted the problem. Quite often, if I had stability issues in games before, it would be because of my SLI setup. And often I'd have to turn off SLI to get around that, which would be fine, because just one of my graphics cards was fine for most games. But because these are now more modern games, one can't really handle it in the resolution I'm comfortable with, so it's a whole thing. Then I decided to err on the side of patience, so I still haven't bought it. So this is the ongoing saga of this quite old game that I really should buy, and yet I haven't. That's where I'm at with that. But it's fine, because I have, on the one hand, I have tremendous patience, but also, you know, I got loads of games. Loads of the bastards. Right, where does this go? Oh, shit. I finished watching Iron Fist Season 2. Which I suddenly had a thing where I was like, I gotta catch up. Basically, Daredevil Season 3 came out. I was like, well, shit, I need to catch up. I watched like the first few episodes of Jessica Jones Season 2, and I was like, I just don't care about this character. She's not for me, honestly. And I particularly hate a lot of the characters surrounding her. Her ex-drug addict friend, it just annoys me. Trish, what an annoying character Trish is. And just all of the rest. I was like, I do not care. I watched the first few episodes, like, no, I can't be arsed. And then I kind of caught the ending, and I was like, yeah, it's just, none of this was for me. And I watched Luke Cage Season 2. I really liked that. I thought it was really good. It had some questionable bits in it here and there, but for the most part, it stayed like generally on track. And it didn't do that dumb thing that Season 1 did, where it built up a cool villain, then just killed him a few episodes in, floundered for a bit, then replaced him with another guy. You're like, I don't care about this guy. Okay, so now I take this, I combine it with this here. There we are, nice. And then don't set that aside, keep building. So there was that, and then I went to Iron Fist Season 2. And Iron Fist Season 1 had a lot going on. It wasn't good. I kind of liked it though, because at least it, like, you know, it threw just a lot of stuff at you, didn't it? And then season 2 of that, I would say, has actually been really good, in that it's kind of fun, you know? It's just kind of fun. There's these fuckwit characters who are these poor morons, homeless street fools, who, like, you're there, you're like, these guys are going to have some impact on the plot at some point. That's why they're keeping them around. And then it ended. It ends on a cliffhanger, and it's the sort of well, I wouldn't even say it ends on a cliffhanger. It just ends very much setting up, well, we're doing another season, and the next season is going to be a bit wild, because suddenly, like, Danny Rand, instead of using one Iron Fist, he's got two, but he's using them with guns, and he looks a bit like a cowboy. It's just fun. And I gotta say, I'm a big fan of the Ward character in Iron Fist, because he's an arsehole, but he's also, like, he feels very human and, like, sort of kind of practical as well. There we are. Get that going. Put this on here. Perfect. But I'm hoping they do a Heroes for Hire season, which I think everyone is kind of expecting when they cancelled Luke Cage, then cancelled Iron Fist, and it's like, but we haven't. No one said, it's like, we haven't cancelled, like, the characters. It's like, we're not renewing their show. It's like, so you're going to do a Heroes for Hire season that you've kind of been hinting at it for a while. Now these combine. Somehow. That way? Yep, okay. Yeah, that makes sense now. Well, it says they combine, but they don't fit together. Oh, do they? So that goes, yes, that lines up there. Right, so that's right, that's somewhat problematic. There's a layer missing here, I think. But I can, no. See, what I'm dealing with here is I've connected these two sort of C shapes. It's connected here, fine, but there's actually nothing connecting it here, and there's no even room for a connector. It also doesn't quite line up square the way it should, so I'm thinking I've made an error. But looking at the diagram here, there aren't any pieces missing, which is troubling. I'm now going to look at some other pictures to see if there's any room for mistakes that I could have made. Can't see any. Yeah, there's nothing wrong there. Did I miss a piece out? Nope. It's just wrong. Shit. Using my tremendous strength, I have crumbled the beast by accident. Shit. Fuck, where did this go? Fuck. It's bollocks. Alright, okay, so that went on there like that, and I think this orange piece just went in this gap. I could do with finding some evidence that it went there, though. That would assuage me somewhat. You know what? I'm just going to assume that's correct at this point and move forwards. Move on with our lives, shall we? More can happen. So next up, I've got Daredevil to watch, which I'm looking forward to, because he's the best one by far, isn't he? He's got some annoying characters in there, you know, Foggy, but he's not that bad actually. Basically, Foggy's good when he's comic relief. He's bad when he's emotional. Actually, you know what? That's basically all characters. I've just summed up everything there. Fine for comic relief. Don't give me any of that emotional crap. Right. There's that. And one more little grey. There we are. So I'm looking forward to that to come, and I've just sort of in between. I watched Atlanta, the Donald Glover show, I'm going to call it, because I thought I'd heard going in that it was a comedy, but also a drama, like a drama/comedy, if you will. Which there's a lot of shows that are like that, and it depends like how much of each they get. I was thinking, okay, this could be pretty good, and I watched it. I watched the whole first series, which was like 10 episodes, and like it's kind of a bit all over the place, honestly. There were some episodes where it's like, we're just going to follow this one character and we're not going to explain it. And there are other episodes where like they'll end on a cliffhanger, and then it'll come to the next one, and you'll be like, didn't he shoot a guy at the end of the last episode? Is that going to go anywhere? All right, now I've added a bit of strength to this. It's now clear that everything's all right. And I'm now wondering, like, how true of a representation of Atlanta or America in general is the show Atlanta, because it seems like the worst place in the world to exist, particularly if you're black. Everyone is racist. Everyone is one step away from trying to kill you, it seems. And everyone's armed. It just seems like a generally horrible place. Now, I don't know if there's deeper meaning to this, if it's true or not, or if it's a fictionalized telling. And one thing I've learned going through the series is it started off, and it sort of feels like Donald Glover's character Ern is going to be the main character. But then as the series progresses, you realise that no, he's not the main character. For a bit, he's kind of like the straight man, and then then it comes to light. You realise, oh, he's a massive arsehole. Like he just thinks he's better than everyone else, but actually he's not, and he's a dick as well. And it all starts out with him trying to be his cousin Paperboy, the new hot rapper, trying to be his manager, but he's awful at it. I've made an error. I've built something in error. Yeah, I've done this backwards. It should be... Shit. How backwards have I done this? Right, I've built this side. It should be on this side. I'm now going to build this side correctly and see if this is wrong without tearing it off. Because I think it's supposed to be mirrored, but I'm not actually sure. My brain's not very good at detecting mirrored images. It's done me no end of harm. Yep. Let's continue to make this side. That lines up there. I think this is going to be okay. Just need a little grey cap piece. Are there any left? Did I use the last one? Might have used the last one up. I think I have. So let's just take it off that side. Right, so now this side is now correct. Now I'm supposed to make this side, which it's actually not all that different to the one I've just made. So I think it's going to work out all right, although I immediately can't see the piece I need. Right, so that goes like that, and then... Okay, all was well. I only had to remove one piece. I nearly took off about 20. Speaking of One Piece, Christ, I am so into One Piece at the minute, particularly the manga. I'm not going to spoil it, but Christ, that's a good series. That's really heating up as well. That's gone from like from 9 to 10 in terms of speed. That's not... Trouble is, it's always been good. That's the thing. It's one of those series though where it doesn't do anything in a hurry. It very rarely feels like it's slow. It's just, takes its time with the world building. And then every now and again you realise it's like, oh, he's now going back to something that he first brought up 6 years ago. So we're only now getting the actual realisation of what the hell he was on about. Oh, right, I need to make 2 of these. I'm guessing the 2 of these just go on each side of this though, but I'll play by their rules and not jump ahead, as I've been doing on multiple occasions today. Shit. Slowed down a bit on anime recently. I was going a bit overboard over the summer. It's because I ended up watching a couple shows week to week, so it ends up like you're watching normally an episode of something each night, which is great and all, but you soon burn through what's good and available, and you start watching stuff where you're like, this is C-tier anime at best. Save yourself for the best of the best. There we are. Look at that. That's good, isn't it? That's a nice little thing. Now set that aside. Build something entirely different. It says I need 2 of these. Can't see another one. I'm convinced it's under here. There it is. 2 of them. 2 little black pegs. 4 the big old blue ones. Nice. Yep, another one of them. Got to start doing my Christmas shopping soon. It's that time of year, isn't it, where right now you're ahead of it all if you do it. you're beating any rushes. You don't have to worry. It's like, oh, that thing's going to take 4 weeks to arrive. That's fine. That's okay. I ain't rushing that. Oh, standard delivery takes 3 weeks. It's fine. I ain't got to pay for extra. But if you leave it, a couple more weeks, then it's like, shit. Now, you do risk like missing out on big sales and shit. But also, you got to remember, most of these big sales are dog shit, aren't they? So I made this one, and it goes on this side. This is clearly the arm that it's going to connect to the body with, isn't it? Dump that in there. Good. Get in. Get the fuck in. Push this through here. Still doing my human fuel meal replacement drinks. They're great. Like, the thing is, a lot of products like this, when you start doing them, it can almost feel like you're joining the cult, or like you're almost part of a pyramid scheme. But I'm really not, and I'm not saying like, oh yeah, get this, you never buy food again, you never be hungry again, you'll always be excellent. It's not. It's more like, buy this when you're too lazy to make a meal or you can't be asked. Have that. You can still eat food. And it's entirely vegan, which it adds a level of smugness to myself, which is just tremendous. To the point where I've had to start taking it with milk just to stop me from being unbearably smug. Yep, that goes there. It's the only real reason people mock vegans, not because it's a dumb way to live, but just because we know we ain't got the willpower to live that way. Yeah, it's better for the environment, it's better for animals. Most people couldn't happily go into a slaughterhouse and have a beef burger afterwards. And yet, we will mock them mercilessly. Two of them. Throw them on here, make a little sandwich. Going on at a rate of knots here. This is, oh shit. And I jinxed it. Entirely. That's good. It's becoming something, isn't it? It's a thing. Oh, it's getting a window now. Now it's really a thing. Here we are. So it goes like that, this way. Oh, it's got a window in there. So in Star Wars related news, I've had it in my head that there's a Star Wars film coming out this Christmas, and I'm pretty sure at this point there isn't. But I still assume there is, because I now just associate Christmas and Star Wars. Get your Marvel movies in the summer, your Star Wars films at Christmas. That's fine, but apparently that's not the case. And I'm quite into Star Wars at the minute. I'm still going through Star Wars audiobooks. I finished off Catalyst, the prequel to Rogue One. That was good. That was enjoyable. It was clearly in the adult Star Wars book category because there wasn't a lot of action. There was a fair amount of like almost hard sci-fi and sort of politics and like refugeeism. It's the best way I can describe it. I.e. life as kind of a refugee. Alright, now I just put a few grey bits around to just add some character. Then I started another one, and the thing is, I didn't really plan it, what I was going to listen to. There's about 5 Star Wars audiobooks on my phone. I was just in a situation one day, I was like, I'm going to run out of podcasts, I don't really fancy any of the ones on here, I should do an audiobook. And I looked and I was like, what have I got? There was one called Empire's End, Aftermath. So, oh, that sounds cool. Sounds like a pre-Force Awakens, post Return of the Jedi. I was like, I don't know much about that era. I haven't done any of that yet. I'll try that. I started listening to it and Random House presents this audiobook. this is part 3 of the Aftermath series. I was like, nope, not going to listen to that. And then I tried another one, which I think was called Dark Disciple. Started listening to it, and then like in the opening call they said, or in fact I might have looked on like the cover art for the book, and it said, oh yeah, this is made of unaired episodes from the Star Wars Clone Wars series. I was like, well, I don't want that, because I'm pretty sure they've gone back and made those as episodes. And no offense to a book, but I'd rather see it animated first, you know. Right, so that can be set aside for now. And then I finally settled on one. I can't even remember what it was called. It was something like, I feel it had Sith in the title. And it seems to be mostly about Darth Vader and the Emperor quelling an uprising on Ryloth, which is the planet where the Twi'lek people come from, which I feel are some of the more common Star Wars aliens. That, if you're not familiar, they're the ones with like the head tentacle. Jabba had a green one who was like, or maybe he was blue and he had sharp teeth, who was kind of his right hand Twi'lek, I suppose. And Aayla Secura was a hot one. Got shot in the back on Felucia. So it's kind of about an uprising there. And the thing is, like, you're listening to it and you know they're not going to win. They're not going to kill Darth Vader and the Emperor, but like, you're hoping for it, aren't you? There's a really funny thing in it where they're talking about how like all Sith Lords end up killing their master. That like the apprentice will always kill the master, or maybe the master will kill the apprentice at some point if they're not good enough. But eventually, the apprentice will become the master by killing the first one. And the thing is, like, you know that's true, obviously, going in, but at the same time, it's like you don't realise that both the master and the apprentice is aware of it. Like, it's an odd sort of relationship, and apparently it's entirely expected. And Darth Vader was like, "Yeah, I'm not going to kill you, Master," and the Emperor's like, "No, you say that now, but I said the same thing about my master. It is inevitable. You will kill me." It's just such a matter of fact thing. And the logic behind it is kind of sound. It's like, yeah, eventually the master will just sort of, you know, not quite be following the Sith teachings. It happens, and you will be killed for it. Something to do with like hate and power or some nonsense. I just found it so funny that it's like, yeah, we're both aware. You know, I know how I'll die. You will kill me. That's what I'm expecting. You know, my life dream as a Sith Master is to find an apprentice strong enough to kill me. If I do that, I've done my job. Alright, so there's that. And apparently Darth Vader, if he hasn't got his helmet on, he's in constant agony. And he likes it because it makes him strong. Where am I? And the ongoing thing, which is not at all apparent in the Star Wars films, because you only really follow the heroes and the villains in those films, is that like the general populace doesn't really know what happened to the Jedi. Thinks they are wiped out entirely. Either doesn't know who Darth Vader is, or if they do know who he is, they all kind of just assume he's a robot that the Emperor has, and like if someone destroys him, he'll just wheel out another one. Which is fair enough, because it's like, it doesn't seem human in any way, and he is unnatural. And he's been put in enough situations where he should be dead. But none of them, even though they might know he uses a lightsaber, it's like none of them think, oh, he was probably a Jedi. No, none of them can sort of grasp that idea. Whereas it's obvious to us because we've seen it all happen. But if you think about it, it's like, yeah, they probably don't know shit, and most people in the galaxy, they've had no dealing with the Jedi. That's nothing to them. Or if they have, it might, like, they wouldn't have seen them in battle, because most Jedi kill whatever they're fighting, don't they? They don't leave survivors. Fought the Clone Wars with the clones. All them are dead. Let's see, so that goes there. I don't know what I'm building, but it feels reminiscent of the gates of somewhere. Don't know where. I've got a lot of pieces left, and I'm coming to the realization that I don't think I'm gonna be able to finish this episode. But equally, I feel like there's not enough left for a whole episode. I don't know. I'll make a decision when the time comes. I suppose I could just happily have the final episode of this. It's 4 minutes long. It's me just putting a single piece, just done. Right, so I need that. Where the fuck are you, you little bastard? There it is. Need that and a little grey. Perfect. Perfect. I got nothing. Where does any of this go? How does it fit in? Does anyone else have an urge right now to do some Star Wars Battlefront 2 Galactic Conquests? Which is frankly too easy against the AI, because they don't really do anything tactically. It gets to a point where you're just steamrolling their planets, and all they'll ever do is like build a new flagship, attack you in space. It's like, mate, you can't fight me in space. I'm too good in space. You don't know how to do it. You bet. I'm here taking out your ship's life support. You haven't even destroyed my frigates. It's a huge disappointment. I tried to play a Galactic Conquest online co-op Star Wars Battlefront 2 PC. Can't be done. Just can't do it. You can probably mod it and do it. That's probably quite easy. But I was like, no, I want to have a grand test of wills and skill against a friend, and probably not ever actually finish it because it gets a bit long-winded towards the end. Should be news of more Battlefront coming soon. I've never played any of the newer Battlefronts. I'm told they're not great. I might do that actually. I might make an effort to play them. One had a campaign to it. I could maybe blitz through that. Just if I could do it without paying for it, that would be the ideal, wouldn't it? Where the hell is the bit I need? It's somewhere over here. It's actually over here. What dickhead put it over there? Me, obviously. Always me. Right, now I have to combine these tiny pieces into less tiny pieces to make a weird decorative thing. Is it? And then that clips onto that. And then that clips onto here. Do you know what I'm quietly hopeful for? The new Pokemon game to be not good, but just essentially a remake of the first ones. Ideally, if they could do that thing where they kind of remake the games, but remake it how you remember it and not how it actually is, that would just be grand, wouldn't it? Because I haven't played Pokemon for a while. I was going to do Sun and Moon, but then the Switch came out, and I was like, well, I tend to like to skip a generation of Pokemon anyway, because that's sort of the best way to do it if you've got the patience. So I was going to do it when Sun and Moon came out. I was like, well, the Switch is out. I should wait for a Switch one. And then they did like Ultra versions of them or something, did they? Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon? No, I can't think. They did, you know, yellow versions, but I kind of skipped them. And I was like, yeah, I've missed them now. I'll wait until the next ones. Which isn't this Pokemon Let's Go Eevee in that, but quietly optimistic about it. I'll wait and see though, because I mean, there's no shortage of good games on Switch. What there is shortage of is time when I actually play my Switch. And the thing is, everything on Switch is like, you could get this and just play it forever. Like Splatoon 2, that's a great game. I could go back and keep playing that. Diablo 3, that I could play that forever. Darkest Dungeon, I think I have been playing that forever. There was a long time where I was like, I could buy more Switch games, but Breath of the Wild is still so good. And I still go back to that and play that for ages. And wait, hang on. Put that away, because I nearly assembled that on sort of assumption, even though it doesn't remotely go together like that. Mario Kart 8, that's great. So you got the new Smash coming out, and I'm thinking, the trouble is, like, you've just given us Mario Party. Mario Party's great. We've still got Mario Kart 8. Do I even need Smash? Yeah, probably. I like Smash. I never really get to play it as much as I'd like. I feel that's true of all games though, isn't it? A lot about multiplayer games like that. And then this, wait, what? No. Apparently there's a bit that slots in. I've never seen this before. These pieces I'm putting together now, I don't think I've used them at all, like anything like them in any of the earlier parts of this build. And they're all entirely alien to me. I feel like I'm building a small engine unit. Very small than that. Pieces are tiny. Get that over there. A few of you. I'm pretty certain I set a timer at the start of this, but I feel like I've been going on a while now and that timer hasn't gone off. But I set an alarm, not like a countdown, so there's no easy way of... Actually, there probably is an easy way of checking it. Yeah, 10 minutes. That was actually quite easy. I take back my earlier statements. On a phone-related note, as that was my phone I just checked, I'm at a point where that iPhone there, it's not dying by any means, but it's not on its last legs, but it's showing some age. And I feel like, you know, its replacement is on the way, and I don't want it to be replaced by another iPhone, because I've come to hate them, as everyone who has an iPhone eventually does, I feel. And the trouble is, just what else is there? I was going to get a Pixel because they sounded like quite good. And I found out they got rid of the headphone jack. Why is everyone getting rid of headphone jacks? That's very important to me. Because I have a lot of pairs of headphones and earphones. I don't want to not, you know, not. Right, how does this combine now? I got that. I got this. No? Maybe? It doesn't show how to put them together, it just shows them together. Ah, that's how. I had everything rotated by one, like a goddamn idiot. So I need one of you, one of you. Put these together. Ah, yes, it's all happening now. I'm making a gun turret as well. I've made these before. It's not that hard to do. But there's a lot of fiddly little pieces just to get them just right. Which they have to be. They're like a key part. If you get them wrong, it's like, what? Why you got a searchlight on your Falcon? No, it's supposed to be a gun turret. I look here. Amnesia hits me and I look over here. That's the current pattern I'm undergoing. And I don't like it. Is this even what I need? I think so. Yep, one of you. A couple more of you little bastards. I know there'll be plenty of spares, these little pieces though. I live in hope of that. Stick that on there. Rinse and repeat 10 times. It's times like this that I realise my index finger is just, it's not 100%. Tries its best, but it just can't quite compete. That's what was throwing me off. These little cylindrical pieces I needed to add, they've got cross-shaped holes in them, and therefore going on these cross-shaped little bits. But nothing I picked up was cross-shaped. Fucking hell. Hold it with your left, use your right hand to actually do the work. It's times like these I wonder, am I getting old? Am I getting arthritis? Or is this part of my hand too fat or something and my fingers can't get close enough together? Is that damage? Is that just me? Do I just lack the dexterity? What is that? Okay, now combine these and it should start to look more like a gun turret, which it kind of does. So this is the one that spins, which has a counterpart on the underside, and it leads to hand saying, "Don't get cocky, kid," doesn't it? Or my favourite joke from Family Guy's Blue Harvest, "Don't get penisy, kid." Here we are. Yeah, that's the turret. Sitting. Wait, I put it on the wrong side, haven't I? Have I? No, I haven't. Have I got the window the right way around? I feel like something is wrong. The domed window should bulge out, but well, no, the picture's showing it to be this way. I guess my memory is wrong. Oh, and I get to add it on now. Doesn't actually say how, because it's removable. You just slide in. That's why. Right, and now the final step. Steps plural. Okay, I'm just reading ahead now. So there's, so I've got to put 2 caps on here, make the little nameplate, and then also make the satellite dish that goes on top. None of which is actually going to take very long. So I'm actually going to call the episode there, finish that off next time, and then we'll be done. I haven't made the Minoc. I bet these are bits of the Minoc. That's what they are. I'll make that later as well. Well, next episode. Small Chinaman's hat there. That's not racist saying Chinaman, is it? I don't know. They're from China. It's not like I'm saying Oriental. Thanks for watching. Sorry if you're Chinese. I'll see you next time.